Hi, and welcome to Vox Talks. I'm Stephen Lecky.
And I'm Elissa Bernstein.
Today we're going to look at the actors nominated for Oscar Awards 2016.
We're going to take a look at their actual acting ability and make our choice for the winner based on that.
Acting technique often doesn't come into the discussion, so we're interested in upping the discussion to the point where we have concrete criteria with which to judge acting. We're going to look at their ability to deal with a stimulus, the evaluation of a stimulus in their character's world, and the energy, the impulses that lead to expression. How do they master that sequence? And how detailed and nuanced is their actual performance based on using those simple but effective tools?
I need to see Ina.
Let me help, please.
I need my husband. Can't get him.
I can't.
I need to talk to my husband. I need to hold my husband. I need him. Can't you just get him? Can you at least try?
I'm sorry.
It's interesting. What struck me when I was watching this clip again was how wonderful his reactions were when he didn't have lines. And we ran into that with a number of our other nominees. How when they don't have the complication of the line, their reactions are spectacular, and there's a stillness about this actor. The moment the line comes in, suddenly the effort to speak the line totally upstages the emotional underpinnings for that line. It's very unfortunate. This again points to lack of skill. There's not enough skill in terms of how to bring about normal speech behavior.
Right.
I need to see Ina.
Let me help, please.
I need my husband.
So again, we have that setup, which should have been arrival.
Right.
Let me help.
He was
And
still
then
setting
develop,
himself up
please.
when the line
Yeah.
came up.
Exactly. We're still seeing this, let me help, please.
Right.
We're actually seeing the setup of the physical behavior at the same time as the actual expression itself.
So it's messy. We don't get a clean expression out of him because the body is not ready.
Yeah, we don't
So
get
it's-
clean tone.
yeah.
We get, in fact, you're going to notice in this scene the tone stays practically the same from beginning to end. And it's salvaged by these two beautiful people and the stillness that they find on the actual reception of impulses for which they don't have to respond.
Can't get him.
I can't.
I need to talk to my husband.
Same thing. He hasn't made a clear decision about how he's responding to that.
Yeah, the words are just a confirmation. I can't. But what do we get? I can't.
Now, let's say the character isn't sure. The imprint might not have the same stillness that it would with a sure response.
Well, you
correct?
wonder if the character were not sure why
speak.
why the answer would be so definitive and so strong
Right.
in this haze of searching. Plus, all that searching, I'm not asking him to get rid of that. I'm asking him to use that energy more effectively. Don't use that energy to create a distraction when you speak. Use your energy as an actor to actually set something up that draws us to what you're going to say, which again is a confirmation, and it's bathed with this wonderful emotional setup.
I need him. Can't you just get him?
So it's beautiful.
Gorgeous. Look at this.
Look at the
Look at
response.
that.
in the
And
eyes.
look at that. Look at that move.
Can you at least try?
She developed
very good.
beautifully. Yeah. Look, he's ready to speak.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And then we get the same. It's interesting too. All actors have their own little pattern. His is a
Right.
triangle with the nose. I'm sorry. And he does it over and over again. Now again, we promised that we would analyze these scenes based on technique. These actors could improve with a few minutes of feedback, coaching, let's say, on these little things. And they could hit great heights in their careers. But the problem is they're already getting awards.
Yeah, why would they bother?
So that kind of feeds into your sense
Right.
of who you are and what you're doing, you know. And I'm hoping that these actors are really artists and are really interested in continuing to work on their craft, because these are young actors, a lot of young actors being nominated. And when I look at the older actors, the more experienced actors, they're far superior. They're far superior, and people need to start noticing why.
Every human being has a basic instinct to help each other out. If a hiker gets lost in the mountains, people coordinate a search. If an earthquake levels the city, people all over the world send emergency supplies. This instinct is found in every culture, without exception.
We're a little limited here because we just have the narration to work off of, but it's still an example of how he approaches text.
Well, the narration definitely gives us a clear indication of other problems. You hear that the speech behavior is not fully assimilated in this actor. He does not assimilate spontaneous speech. He actually has a completely different way of speaking when he acts than people speak in real life. His lines continue to float downward, down and out, over and over again. That shows a larger problem. That shows a problem with dealing with, or receiving even, energy off of your stimuli.
Which is his own thinking in this case.
Yeah. He's not receiving energy. He's not seeing relationships between these pieces of this narration. I think we see when he responds to an explosion or responds to waking up in a pile of sand on a strange planet, that basically he's very good at that. It's the coordination between actors, the line and the impulse. The line, the stimulus, the evaluation, and the impulse. How does that work out? That's where we really can separate the great actors from the okay actors.
Every human being has a basic instinct to help each other out. If a hiker gets lost in the mountains, people coordinate a search. If an earthquake levels the city, people all over the world send emergency supplies. This instinct is found in every culture, without exception.
So clearly, every one of those lines is in exactly the same trajectory. Talk about a trajectory of a spaceship crash landing on a planet. Each one of those lines crash lands.
Right.
Big
Right.
time.
And human behavior, human speech behavior never works like that. You will never repeat the exact same pattern in a line. It means that nothing new has happened.
Yeah. Imagine the power of those words. We will listen to speakers endlessly, just the speaker and the voice. If that scene did not have the music behind it and all of the rest the things going on around it, with shots and clips and things, then those 4 lines will not stand the test at all.
And they should stand alone.
Yeah. And he's dropping right down into that non-expressive part of the voice. Every human being has a basic human instinct to help each other. If a hiker gets lost, coordinate a search. If an earthquake levels, emergency supplies. The instinct is found without exception. You've got to seriously question this actor's recognition of development that is written into text. This is a rich piece of text. Lots of possibilities here.
Jobs insists, I'm
I didn't
quoting,
invent math.
28% of the male population of the United States could be the father.
I wasn't saying you slept with 28% of American men. I was using an algorithm based on the blood test, which said there was a 94.1% chance that I'm the father.
You're trying to publicly paint me as a slut and a whore.
Believe me, I'm not trying to publicly do anything with you.
2 million people read Time. How
It
am I
would be
supposed
more if they put me on the cover, but Dan
I
Cocky
applied for
decided to
welfare
kidney punch
yesterday.
me. I'm sorry?
I said I applied for welfare yesterday. The Time article said your Apple stock was worth $441 million. And I wanted to ask you how you felt about that.
Well, I feel like Apple stock has been dramatically undervalued. This would be a good time to get in.
There's something that happens when they're biopics. Something that happens to the actors that I'm not crazy about. I feel like they're more concerned with imitating than in recreating each impulsive response.
Boy, I think that's really a good point. There's a lid on this performance, a lid, and I think that lid relates to an attempt to be authentic to the character that we're portraying, but the lid unfortunately has the opposite effect of giving that character a very limited range. Lots of opportunity in this scene, huge opportunities in this text that are not being taken advantage of at all. He's keeping a lid on everything, and you can always tell when there's a lid on because the body starts to fight it, and the body will fight during the line.
Right.
The body wants to be involved, the body wants to be in there, the body wants to be up front. The physical reaction wants to be up front, and if you don't put it up front, it'll come back to haunt you during the line, piece by piece.
Yeah, part of you knows that there's more here, there's more happening here.
Jobs insists, I'm
I didn't
quoting,
invent math.
28% of the male population of the United States could be the father.
I wasn't saying you slept with 28% of American men. I was using an algorithm based on the blood test, which said there was a 94.1% chance that I'm the father.
He's looking good until the line comes out.
Yep, some great reactions. Huh? Those little things he does with the, and later on that funny little thing he does with the hand, spectacular. Spectacular.
There's greatness
invention.
in this actor.
Absolutely. But this, I wasn't saying that you da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da. I'm saying that's a big mistake. First of all, it's part A. I wasn't saying this and this. I'm saying if you do not get that liberation in between, you don't get the range. You don't get the range you should have for this and the scope of the character's impulses. So whatever he's trying to go for here, he's losing opportunities. You must get the character to a point where their reactions physically, vocally, emotionally are believable and have that scope of believability.
Again, whether it's the character, the idea of the character, or imitating somebody, that is then excluding the natural development in this text that is in every human, that has to be respected.
Right. The need we have to share, to speak, the need I have right now to explain, has a very unique energy to it. That energy is part and parcel with creating a believable character, pure and simple. And that has to be the first thing the actor goes for. Even in these biopics, you must get the character to a point where their reactions physically, vocally, emotionally are believable and have that scope of believability. Even if you think the character is reserved or subtle or shy, look at the text. The text is saying something different, that there's room in that shy bubble.
Within that.
There's room in there to expand. He's got to expand this.
A slut and a whore.
Believe me, I'm not trying to publicly do anything with you.
2 million people read Time. How am
It
I
would be
supposed
more if they put me on the cover, but Dan
I
Cocky
applied for
decided to
welfare
kidney punch
yesterday.
me.
Same thing here.
It'd be more if they put me on the cover, but Dan Cockey's decided to kidney punch me. First of all,
Stop the line from getting anywhere.
it's two pieces. There's two pieces of the line. What is the line? It would be more if they put me, or it'd be more if they put me on the cover of Time. However, there's another side to that, which again is being squeezed out by imposed character trait, which is this lidded quality.
I'm sorry.
I said I applied for welfare yesterday. The Time article said your Apple stock was worth $441 million. And I wanted to ask you how you felt about that.
Well, I feel like Apple stock has been dramatically undervalued. This would be a good time to get in.
Same thing. Incredible reaction.
Yeah,
Before
great
that
reaction.
first sequence.
And then when she mentions his net worth or the net worth of his product, he intentionally decides not to respond directly to that, to misunderstand her, or to go into a very glib, sort of cold place and say it's time to invest. But again, two lines where he loses the potential of that development, and we don't quite hear how nasty that is. He's in the same frame he's been through it the whole scene still. That lid is creating problems for him. It's limiting him.
He ran off, didn't he?
telling the truth.
How's that?
Fitzgerald lied to him. He was just following orders. He wasn't there when Fitzgerald stabbed my boy to death.
Is that what happened? You killed Hawk?
I need a horse and a gun.
No, you need rest and something to eat. I'm going after him.
No. You'll never find him without me.
You wait till morning, he'll have a day's head start. He'll get away.
No, he won't. He's afraid. He knows how far I came for him. Same as that elk, when they get afraid, they run deep into the woods. I got him trapped. He doesn't know it yet.
This isn't an easy scene to evaluate, and it is the only real scene beyond a few lines that we could find, because he's in such a state that he's not even accessing real focus in his voice.
Well, we have an extreme state here. He is in an extreme state. In fact, I tend to agree with his friend. He's in no shape to go anywhere. You know what I mean?
I had to listen so many times to catch some of those words.
He can't even string a thought together that has actually impulsive variation, this character.
Right.
Now, do we decide that the interpretation here is this character, all this character can do is say words in a certain sequence that make a logical sense?
Does that ever happen?
Does that ever happen?
Do that?
That's exactly my point. Does
Yeah.
that ever happen?
Yeah.
Here we have a text that shows a
Highly developed.
highly developed thought process that requires a developed delivery in the actor, and the actor is not going that route. The actor is just going into a and sticking to it come hell or high water.
Right, which he doesn't have the right to do.
I'm concerned about that. I'm concerned about that decision. That decision disturbs me as someone that's interested in the art form of acting. And I just wonder where we go. Where do we go once we start making that type of decision? Where does the art form itself go?
How much freedom does an actor have to do whatever they want to do with this text?
And to escape from the realities of human behavior.
Fitzgerald lied to him. He was just following orders. He wasn't there when Fitzgerald stabbed my boy to death.
There's an example. We have a nice little buildable unit there. And it just stays in the same place. And back to the theory of direct and diffuse, which is a key to great performance and key to human nature. Something comes out and something then goes inward. Let's look at that text. Fitzgerald lied to him. He was just following orders. That's two thoughts. So it's Fitzgerald lied to him. He was just following orders. And then...
Within that weakness, within that broken voice.
Yeah. He wasn't there when Fitzgerald stabbed my boy to death. That's a huge one. That's huge. But they all sound equal in quality. Now, do we say that this poor guy's been through such suffering he's not able to express any emotion anymore? But the text is expressing a very clear, lied to him, just following orders.
Right.
And then the ferociously personal, stabbed my boy.
Right.
There's room within the bubble he's created. It's a beautiful, intense bubble. This is a very skilled actor. But why not take it right to that next level? Allow yourself to follow the tenets of believable human speech.
Otherwise, a state of being is not interesting.
Not
For
for
that long.
Not for a long time.
Yeah.
And we get away with it in film because the films have so many other things to show at the same time. The camera can flip around. We can look at him behind. We can focus on his scar tissue for a while.
Exactly.
And we
Incredible
can
makeup.
focus on his acting partner here. All kinds of things to do. And we don't judge these performances that harshly. But put this on a bare stage. And then you really see where the art is separated.
No. No.
Is that what happened? You killed Hawk?
I need a horse and a gun.
No, you need rest and something to eat.
Well, here he showed skill.
Yeah.
I mean, he received the impulse. He didn't follow up on what the other character said. He had his own plan, and the body moved, get me a gun.
Right.
That was very clean, very nice, fine. Well tailored reaction.
Good.
Human behavior portrayed authentically.
He knows how far I came for him. Same as that elk, when they get afraid, they run deep into the woods. I got him trapped, he doesn't know it yet.
Same thing there. Same as that elk
Very different thoughts there.
running into the forest.
Right.
And then,
Yeah.
once you get away from the comparison to the elk, which is very poetic almost,
There's a big change.
and that sort of has a diffuse quality where he can go back into his head, then I got him trapped, you know. That's totally different. That's totally different. He's bent on revenge, and we've got to see that. And he gets all these opportunities to show in the writing where that kind of takes over his whole being. And you miss it if you don't build intensity. And you build intensity through releasing before that build.
Right.
There's got to be that release and that build all the time.
Especially in a film where there's so little dialogue. Take advantage of the dialogue you have,
Wow.
the text that you have.
Good point. Good point. Very good point. There's so little dialogue here that can lift this to a whole other level.
Yeah.
Who wrote it? You did, old boy. You stick your name on my labor, hand it into your studio, and we're in business.
Look, it is just some luck that I wasn't subpoenaed and blacklisted myself. The hearings are going to start up again soon. I'm going to get cold and canned.
Well, then quick, lad. Let's sell this little beauty and split the take 50-50.
Ridiculous. I'll take 10%.
You'll take 20. No, 30. And that's my final offer.
You're the worst businessman ever.
Definitely a lot better than the others that we've been watching.
He has a lot of skill. I have a feeling that there are thousands of actors like him that have this ability. He has ability. I'm not sure about this role, but he has tremendous ability on display here.
Right.
And we haven't seen any of that ability with any of his fellow nominees. But when you think about the fact that there is a question about who's being nominated, certainly in this category, there's enough weakness in this category to make you wonder, have we gone deep enough into the whole repertoire to find out what came out this year?
Who wrote it? You did, old boy. You stick your name on my labor, hand it into your studio, and we're in business.
There's your Diffuse Direct.
The
Textbook.
The stimulus, the other character, who wrote it? Basically, the next stimulus is his plan. His plan coming forward. You did, oh boy. And then this beautiful line. This man knows how to sculpt a line of text. I actually notated here, you stick your name on my labor, hand it in the studio, and we're in business. 4 packages. You stick your name on my labor, hand it in the studio, and we're in business.
Right. A package meaning a grouping of words.
A grouping of words
and that's really how we
that
speak.
come together rhythmically. He does it perfectly. It's textbook.
Look, it is just some luck that I wasn't subpoenaed and blacklisted myself. The hearings are going to start up again soon. I'm going to get cold and canned.
Well, then quick, lad. Let's sell this little beauty and split the take 50-50.
Ridiculous. I'll take 10%.
You'll take 20. No, 30. And that's my final offer.
Now talk about the body coming before
Absolutely.
the line.
He's a little bit what we
Well,
call collide it.
right.
The hand comes up a little bit late, but still, it's far superior to what we've seen.
Right.
What does he say? You'll take 20. And then it's over. Do you notice him drop back? We're going to look at this one again. We're going to look at the same one again. He drops back. It's over at that point. You'll take 20. And then, no,
Right, 'cause
30.
it's an added little response,
Yes,
an
it's
added little impulse
an
there.
added evaluation.
Wait, I'm
I just heard myself
reconsidering.
say 20.
Yeah.
No, wait a second. That's
Yeah.
not enough. No, 30.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
That's beautiful.
You'll take 20. No, 30. And that's my final offer.
Wow.
And did you see what he did? Going back to Charlotte Rampling and the
Right.
book with the glasses or the bookmark or whatever it was.
Right.
He's got the cigarette, right?
Right.
Great control of the prop. You'll take 20. Goes to put the cigarette in his mouth.
Right.
No, 30.
And then what's it again?
I hate the title.
Me too.
Again, the whole kind of stratified way of listening. He accepts that this guy doesn't like the title. So he just goes with it. Okay, who cares, right? But when his daughter comes in and says, he sits back like this and looks over. He's got a cigarette poised there. It's just a wonderful moment.
So he's getting that unique response to the stimuli.
The unique response to that stimuli and evaluation. My daughter, I'm so proud of you, or you have an opinion, or whatever he's thinking as a father. It's like, you got moxie. Good for you. It's great. It's great.
Well, I think you know who we picked as the winner.
1, 2, 3.
Bryan Cranston. Yeah, there's no real choice here. It's not much of a mystery.
You look at his control of text. You look at his control of the stimulus evaluation and the reactive impulse that comes from it. You look at the range of what he's accomplished just in this small scene. You consider the fact that he achieved that while playing this affected type of character. That's all the more remarkable for me.
That's real solid acting skill. Leaves them all in the dust.
And following up on that point, let's hope in the future we have a little more choice, a little more depth in choice, a little more diversity in choice, and look forward to seeing what comes out of next year's crop of films in terms of Best Actor.
Thanks for watching.
See you next time.